I'm joined once again by Luke Sanders, who's going to be taking on Patrick Williams at UFC on Fox 29 in Arizona on April 14th. What's going on, Luke? How are you?
Yeah, it's going good, man. Having a beautiful day out here in Cali, enjoying the weather, and yeah, it's all good.
How happy were you, first off, to be on this card? It's a pretty stacked event, and it's going to be in Arizona, too.
Yeah, dude, Arizona always has a killer crowd, and my brother's there, and then yeah, so it's like home away from home. I've been there a lot, so it's dope, man. I'm excited for it.
Awesome. And you mentioned at the top you're in California, so are you not training at the lab for this camp, or how does that sort of work?
Yeah, so like I've been doing all my fight camps up in there, but I've really been spreading myself thin, between like Nashville, having my family there, training there, and then Arizona, and then these last two fight camps I was out here living in LA, so I was kind of like spreading myself so thin, so I haven't been able to, I'm not going to make it out to the lab for this camp, so I'm just staying here, which, the lab is still family, and I'm still with them, even if I'm not training with them for this camp, just because, like, they're family, so still got good connections with them, but I'm doing my training out here for this camp, so it's been going good, man, and yeah, 4 weeks away today, so that's a month, and then, showtime.
Awesome. And we'll talk about training camp in a sec, but first, we got to talk about your last fight. I know things didn't go your way in that one. Was it just a matter of you got caught, you felt, or were there other sort of factors that you take away from that fight against Andre Soukhamthath?
Yeah, man, like, I feel like I dominated all the match, and then I got caught, but there was a couple things that I really learned in that fight, and I'm correcting those things. So I had him finish in the first round had I not clinched up with him and just kind of stayed at range and, picked him up. And I kind of let him recover. But I mean, I still controlled the whole fight and I dominated him. Like, I don't feel he was a better fighter, but he caught me. So, it happened the way it did and can't go back on that now, but can definitely fix those things.
Awesome. And here you are taking on Patrick Williams. He's got the 8-5 record. How do you feel like you match up against him in this fight?
Man, I feel like it's a great matchup for me, and I think it's my time to really show like how good I am, and it's going to be a good night for me. And he's really explosive and raw, so he's exciting to watch. But I think I'm going to be too much for him, and I'm going to be able to put the pressure on him and then take that W and go cash some checks.
Good stuff. I like that. You talked about training in California. Where are you training right now, and who are some of your main training partners?
Yeah, I'm training out of Dynamics MMA with Anthony Hardonk and the janitor Vladimir
Matyashenko. Nice.
Yeah, Matyashenko. Those names are so hard to say. So, yeah, and then I've been training with Nick Hines, and we got a slew of other guys, like some amateur guys, and then some other people turning pro. So we got a pretty good gym. It's not as many bodies as like the lab, but it's been good training, man, and I've really been learning a lot and just exploring different styles and stuff like that. So it's been good, man. Yeah, training's going well.
And on that same note, do you know who's going to be in your corner for this fight?
Yeah, so I may end up having Crouch still.
Oh, nice.
If not, then Anthony and the janitor, and then perhaps maybe I might need a training partner in the back. So that's usually the way I get down. So we'll see. But yeah, or Kevin Casey's been helping me some too, and he's a legit Gracie guy. So he's got a lot of good ground stuff. So that's been good.
You mentioned there we got a bit of time before this fight's coming up. Has that weight cut process started already, or will that happen sort of closer to fight time?
Yeah, weight's coming down and dialing in on that. And, I got N3 Nutrition. They're helping me with that. A good friend of mine, Jason Phillips, he's amazing. And he works with a lot of CrossFit Games athletes. And, I mean, he works with a slew of people. So he's really good, and that's been helping a lot. And yeah, everything's on the roll.
Good stuff. How do you see this fight playing out on April 14th?
Man, I'm gonna get a finish. Probably second round, maybe the first round. It just depends on how quick he gives it to me. But yeah, man, I'm looking for the finish. If not, then I'll go 3 rounds and I'll beat him that way. So either way, I'm gonna look for the domination.
And if all goes well, you go into this fight, you're healthy, everything's goes according to plan. Are you looking to get a quick turnaround here, or do you want to take some time off? Have you kind of mapped that out yet?
Yeah, so depending on how I'm feeling afterwards and health wise, I'd love to fight again, beginning of the summer. So I've been staying pretty active. I've pretty much been through like 3 camps back to back. This will be my fourth, So yeah, I just want to stay moving.
Switch the gears here a little bit. If anyone follows you on social media, you obviously have a very famous girlfriend. Most people know her as Becky Lynch in WWE. I wanted to know, how did that sort of start with you guys dating? Because you guys are both kind of from different worlds.
Yeah, I got a hot, famous girlfriend. I'm the guy that dates the hot, famous girl. So it's good, man. She's great. And we kind of met through the industry, and then we met each other in California. And it's funny, like we met not too far away from where we're staying right now here in LA. So that's pretty cool. It's funny how life turns and
Yeah,
then
it works.
brings you right back to the same place, and it's been good.
So is that also why you're in California? Just because I guess it's easier for her as well with the both of you?
Yeah, so the both of us, we have good opportunities out here. There's lots of good training. You can't beat the weather. There's just so many opportunities, and LA is a great place. Like, never really thought, oh, I wouldn't want to pay that tax money. But then you live here, and you're like, oh, I see why people pay that tax money, because
Right.
every day is like the most beautiful day in the world. Like, back home, you get those days in spring or fall, in Nashville, and you're like, oh man, this is great. You got your windows open and the doors, and everybody's, outside. There's nobody inside, and that's how it is every day here. So it's pretty nice.
Do you have to kind of deal with any of those creepy fans? I mean, you got the good looking girlfriend. She's pretty big in WWE. Do you have to sort of deal with that at all? Or do you have to kind of talk to her and be like, hey, just ignore that? Because in MMA is one thing, but wrestling's a whole other beast.
Yeah, man. So there can be some weird people, but then most of them are really cool and they're down and all that stuff. But there's a few that are kind of a little too much, but she handles all that really well, and it doesn't affect me either way, because I'm just pretty mellow. So
You're Cool Hand Luke, right? Gotta live up to that nickname.
So I got to, and I'll just keep it cool and always try to keep it fun. Like, it's all just this talking is cheap. So if it's cool, it's cool. If it's bad, then whatever. Just keep going. But it's all been good, man. So far, I hadn't had nothing too crazy. She gets all the craziness personally, those fans can be so intense, and she handles it well. So,
did you ever watch pro wrestling growing up? Were you ever a fan?
Dude, I used to love pro wrestling, man. Back when The Rock and Hulk Hogan and all that, NWO. Yeah, dude. It's been cool, man, getting to see that side of the sports entertainment, and then, her being on this side, which are two different complete beasts, two different beasts, but it's still the same grind, so we kind of relate with each other on that, and that's really cool. But yeah, just meeting those wrestling stars that I used to watch when I was a kid and stuff, and now getting back into it because I watch her and I keep up with her, and then I'm friends with the guys now, so I watch them, and I was I'm a fan of pro wrestling for sure.
Is that something you'd ever consider doing maybe after your MMA career is over? Because you got the cool hand gimmick, the laid back guy, being a nice baby face. That'd be kind of neat.
Yeah, man, maybe the baby face. I think they have it the hardest though. The baby face is hard. The heel probably be easier to not mess up.
Yeah, you kind of ruffle some feathers.
Man, I don't know. I don't know if I could do that personally, like as far as with the gimmicks and stuff, man, that's a whole different thing to put on the act, and like be able to sell that. So, but I'd give it a go. I'm willing to try anything, you know.
What are your thoughts on Ronda Rousey making that transition? It's kind of neat to see someone from your world in her world now. It's kind of neat.
Dude, yeah, and people are loving it too, and I think it's amazing. Like it's gonna be great for the women and for the exposure of wrestling and UFC. It's gonna be a good thing for the sport. And pro wrestling is so fun that it's gonna draw like another viewing audience. So that's really cool.
Who's someone at the lab you think would be a great pro wrestler if they ever transition?
Man,
that's a tough question.
I would probably say I'm gonna say my buddy Brian Barberina.
Okay.
Bam. Yeah, Bam Bam could do it with his beard and all that stuff. He'd be funny at pro wrestling for sure.
Okay, I like that choice. Before I let you go here, Luke, and again, I appreciate the time. What are you watching on TV right now on Netflix? What if I logged into your account right now and I looked under continue watching, what would it say?
What was I watching the other day? I was watching Russell Peters.
Oh, nice. Canadian guy. I like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. And man, what else was I watching? I don't know. I'm always like back and forth with comedy and then like documentaries. I love documentaries. Watched What the Health the other night, so that was kind of creepy. It kind of makes you not want to eat food ever again.
That's what I hear. I haven't seen it yet. That's kind of why I'm waiting on it a little bit, because it's like, man, if I want to go get a burger sometime, it's probably going to make me think twice about it. But
and you're not going to want a burger.
Right.
Yeah, Bex went vegetarian for the week, so she's like 3 days strong after we watched that.
Okay, good stuff.
I'm like, you got power, girl.
Good stuff, man. Well, I can't wait for this fight. It's coming up here April 14th. It's UFC on Fox 29. Luke, it's always good talking to you, man. I really appreciate the time. Just to remind people where they can get a hold of you on social media, and if you got any sponsors or shout-outs, the floor is yours.
Yeah, man. Check me out at Cool Hand MMA on Twitter and Instagram, and Luke Sanders MMA on Facebook. And then N3 Nutrition with Jason Phillips and Virus. They've always been good to me. Nashville Mixed Martial Arts, Dynamics, the MMA Lab, Black House. All the guys that's, been there. Nashville, Tennessee, that's my hometown. I'm repping you guys. Love you. And that's all I got, brother.